the hidden truth that slipped through the cracks. There are things we accept without question. The way the world works, the rules we follow, the boundaries we believe exist between life and death, between the mind and the body. But sometimes mistakes happen, and sometimes those mistakes reveal what was never meant to be known. In 2003, a single document misplaced, overlooked, surfaced where it should not have. It was not ordinary. It was not harmless. It was a report, classified, buried deep within government archives, meant to remain unseen. A report so profound, so unsettling, that if truly understood, it could unravel everything: governments, religions, the very fabric of what we call reality. The document was not speculation. It was not the work of dreamers or philosophers. It was research, methodical, deliberate, undeniable, conducted over decades, hidden under layers of secrecy. It confirmed something that had long been whispered but never proven. You do not end when your body does. You do not cease to be. Your mind, your consciousness, what makes you, you is not bound by flesh. It does not originate in the brain, but is instead received by it, much like a radio tuning into a signal. And when the body fades, the signal continues. You do not stop. You simply shift. This was not a belief. It was not a theory. It was documented, studied, known, and then it was hidden. The research did not begin with curiosity. It did not emerge from a desire for enlightenment. It was driven by something far more pragmatic: control. The ability to manipulate, to weaponize, to separate consciousness from the body at will. And at the heart of this study was a man named Robert Monroe, a radio engineer, an accidental explorer. Monroe never intended to unlock the secrets of human consciousness, but in his quiet experiments, in his late-night recordings and meticulous notes, he stumbled upon something the military could not ignore: a way to step beyond the physical, a method to leave the body at will. What followed was one of the most classified projects in modern history. The US Army took interest. A man named Lieutenant Colonel Wayne McDonnell was sent to document every finding, every anomaly. He was not a mystic. He was not a believer. He was a military intelligence officer, grounded in logic, trained in analysis, and yet, the more he observed, the more undeniable the truth became. Consciousness was not confined to the body. It could be studied, it could be understood, and perhaps it could be controlled. The findings were written, recorded, sealed away. Too volatile for public knowledge, too dangerous for widespread understanding. Because if people knew, as they truly understood, it would change everything. So the document was hidden, forgotten, buried under layers of bureaucracy, where only those who knew where to look would ever find it. But the truth has a way of resurfacing, a quiet whisper at the edges of awareness, a puzzle piece that does not fit, yet cannot be ignored. And now you know. In the hushed corners of our minds, a question lingers like a gentle whisper, beckoning us to ponder. What if you could step into a realm where every desire unfurls and happiness waits patiently, clothed in the shimmering fabric of perfection? Picture, if you will, a machine, an architectural marvel of intricate wires and gentle hums that promises to deliver you to a life sculpted solely from your dreams. It offers a vast, unfolding tapestry of experiences where joy, success, and fulfillment cascade in an endless stream, free from the shadows of pain and challenge that punctuate our waking world. This enigmatic creation, known as the Experience Machine, is a thought experiment woven into the fabric of philosophical inquiry, introduced by the thoughtful whispers of Robert Nozick. As you contemplate its seductive proposal, you may find the allure of a flawless existence hard to resist. Who among us would turn away from a life where every aspiration is seamlessly achieved, a world where the echoes of laughter and the warmth of love are yours to command at the mere flick of a switch? Yet, beneath the surface of this shimmering illusion, a disquiet stirs, curling around your thoughts like a tendril of mist at dawn. If everything is perfect, if the machine guarantees happiness, Why do we hesitate? The choice, at first glance, feels simple, a straightforward passage leading to bliss. Yet there remains an unsettling nagging, a shadowy reminder that something precious might vanish in the act of surrender. Authenticity, we come to realize, is a flickering flame, illuminating the path of our existence. In the embrace of the machine, experiences are not simply lived. They are fabricated to win an Olympic gold medal, to leap beyond the stars, or to find love conjured from mere algorithms. These moments, while vividly felt, are mere shadow puppets on a wall of reality. As alluring as it is to taste victory, to inhale the fragrance of achievement, the essence of that triumph slips away like smoke through grasping fingers. The heart yearns not just for the view from a mountain peak, but for the struggle of the ascent, for it is in that struggle that our characters are forged. As the narrative unfolds, we ponder deeper connections. As we drift through the soft currents of thought, we begin to sense the chilling solitude that the machine promises. In that shimmering virtual expanse, you are enveloped in a cocoon of simulations. The laughter of friends, the comfort of family, they exist, but are shadows crafted by wires and light. In the rhythm of shared experiences and the delicate dance of trust, there is a depth to love that cannot be mimicked or replicated. Though the machine can whisper sweet nothings into your ears, the warmth of a human touch, the vulnerability of real connection, is a treasure that disintegrates in the absence of authenticity. As we weave through these reflections, the notion of personal growth ripples like a pebble cast into the still waters of our consciousness. Life, vast and sprawling, is painted with the colors of struggle and perseverance, those defining brush strokes that sculpt resilience, foster empathy, and acquire wisdom. Yet, in the machine, the horizon of personal evolution dissolves into a placid sea. Challenges fade into the backdrop, and the path of adaptation vanishes altogether. Does one truly comprehend happiness without the juxtaposition of hardship? Does joy lack depth when unaccompanied by a shadow, fluctuating gently within the currents of our exploration? The question of freedom. When beholden to the machine, it dances around you like a spectre, illustrating the illusion that drapes your life in comfort. Choices are scripted, crafted by an unseen hand, and the belief in agency fades like a forgotten dream. To surrender to the machine is to relinquish not just choice, but the very essence of what makes life meaningful, the power to carve your own destiny. And then a sudden flicker of unrest emerges within. Amid the strands of perfection, what of the world's burdens, the relentless march of injustice, the silent cries of despair? While lounging in a cocoon of bliss, the world spins on, leaving behind exploitations and sorrows that demand our attention. For those who perceive meaning in service, in the act of lending a hand to those in need, the machine becomes a vessel of selfishness, an oasis in a desert of obligation. Dare we examine the echoes of our daily lives? Is the pursuit of pleasure, success, and joy not merely an act of preparation for blockades and obstacles? The call of the machine becomes almost familiar, luring us with the promise of ease, yet it stands as a mere mirror, reflecting the already rehearsed dance of human ambition. And yet, beyond this dance lies a formidable truth. We may desire more than happiness. We may crave reality, growth, and the intricate beauty of connection, which often wear the cloak of discomfort and pain. As the tapestry stretches and folds, our contemplation nudges us toward a profound understanding. Happiness may flow like a river, but it courses alongside the stones of adversity and engagement. When the machine envelops us in its charm, what is traded is not just discomfort, but depth, authenticity, and all the real treasures of a life truly lived. Thus we arrive at the precipice, a moment suspended in time, where we may be left lingering in thought. Would you choose the silken threads of an illusion, or the rough-hewn fabric of a reality speckled with imperfections? The experienced machine whispers its challenge, urging us to ponder the heart of our values and desires. For in peeling away the layers, we discover what truly anchors us in this fleeting, transient existence. Would you, dear reader, step into that waiting embrace, or shall you stand firm, bearing the weight of reality's vast and beautiful complexity. As the echoes of these questions unfurl into the night, perhaps the answers ripple softly, just beyond the horizon of awareness, waiting for us to grasp the threads of our own unspoken truths. In the stillness of a dimly lit room, one might ponder a curious question that floats like a feather caught in a gentle breeze. How do we truly justify the beliefs we hold so tightly, as if they were fragile treasures? For at the heart of understanding lies a puzzling enigma, the Munchausen trilemma, a whisper brushing against the edge of awareness, beckoning us to explore the unknown. Imagine, if you will, a vast, fog-laden forest shrouded in mystery. Each step deeper into this tangled realm reveals a hidden truth, a tale from a bygone era, woven with gossamer threads that shimmer just beyond our reach. The Munchausen trilemma, named after the Baron of Extravagant Tales, invites us closer into its winding narrative, where certainty is but a mirage, and each belief we clutch begins to unravel like the delicate strands of a spider's web. Baron Munchausen, a character of flights of fancy, spun stories of extraordinary feats, claiming, with theatrical flair, to have pulled himself from the depths of a swamp by his own hair, an implausible act that serves as a metaphor for our endeavors in justifying knowledge. How extraordinary, yet how futile. For the trilemma contemplates our attempts to rise from the murky waters of uncertainty without the lifeline of external validation. What a daunting task it is to pull oneself from such depths without aid. As we drift through the currents of this thought, we encounter three pathways, each leading us further down the rabbit hole of justification. The first of these, an alluring circle, reveals itself through circular reasoning, a confounding dance, where beliefs validate themselves in an endless loop. Picture a traveler weaving aimlessly in the forest, convinced they are forging a new path, yet, time and again, finding themselves returning to the very clearing they sought to escape. The second path stretches infinitely, a regression that spirals deeper into the unknown, where every question births another. A child, innocent and tenacious, asks why the sky wears its cerulean hue. The parent, drawn into the web, answers, only to be met with another why. The journey continues, ad infinitum, until the clouds of understanding drift away, leaving behind only echoes of questions unfulfilled, a profound reminder that some queries may never find rest. Lastly, we tread upon a more stony ground, the territory of arbitrary assumptions, a place where we grasp at truths without the anchorage of proof. It is here we find beliefs resting on shaky foundations, much like the dizzying heights of a castle built in the air. We declare the sky blue merely because it is, and in doing so, abandon our quest for a deeper understanding, succumbing to the temptation of a momentary solace. Indeed, the Munchausen trilemma, like a riddle whose answer eludes us, asserts that any endeavor to justify belief ultimately descends into one of these three frustrating outcomes, each fraught with its peculiar limitations. The realization unfurls like mist, saturating our understanding of philosophy, science, and daily life, insisting we confront the unsettling truth. Absolute certainty remains a distant dream. In the domain of science, we dance on the precipice of observation and experiment, yet we find ourselves reliant upon the very assumptions that form our foundation. The laws of nature, seemingly steadfast, beckon us to explore their depths, even while cautioning that each foray rests upon tentative ground. And in philosophy, the trilemma casts a shadow upon our quest for knowledge, urging us to ponder whether we can ever truly justify what we hold to be valid. Yet amidst this complexity, we are not abandoned to the void. A gentle illumination occurs when we recognize that while absolute certainty may slip through our fingers like grains of sand, not all beliefs are created equal. Some stand stronger, testified by their coherence, their capacity to explain and predict. It is through this nuanced evaluation that we breathe life into our inquiries, embracing a critical spirit as we navigate through the twists and turns of our understanding. So, should we abandon our pursuits of justification? Not at all. The trilemma, instead, encourages us to approach our beliefs with humility, to acknowledge their provisional nature. In practical terms, we need not seek unwavering certainty. Rather, we may focus on the most reasonable interpretations, the most coherent threads woven into our tapestry of understanding. As the echoes of the Munchausen trilemma fade into a whisper, we find ourselves cradled by the confines of curiosity. Questions remain unanswered, treasures await discovery, and the journey towards deeper inquiry remains an inviting path. So, let us wander forth into this tranquil abyss, acknowledging the complexity of knowledge, cherishing the intricate dance we share with understanding, and embracing the wonder that unfurls before us, a captivating adventure, one that beckons us to dream, to question, and to seek, even if we may never fully arrive. In the stillness of twilight, when the world softens into shades of grey and whispers of the unknown, a question lingers in the air, a question as old as thought itself. How can a being of infinite love and power continue to allow suffering to darken our existence? This inquiry, delicate yet daunting, has teased the minds of philosophers, teased the hearts of theologians, unfolded itself into the very fabric of our shared humanity. It quivers at the edges of our consciousness, a wisp of something larger, something just beyond our grasp. Consider, for a moment, an old tale woven through our collective memory, a natural disaster. Picture the earth trembling beneath our feet, a rumble growing into a roar, as buildings sway and crumble like sandcastles beneath relentless waves. In the aftermath, amidst the rubble and the sorrow, lives are torn asunder. Children, innocent and unaware, meet a fate they did not choose, leaving survivors enveloped in a fog of grief and confusion. If the divine is tender and all-knowing, one might wonder why such agony unfolds before our eyes, a visceral contradiction hiding at the heart of understanding. As we drift deeper into this contemplation, some whisper of a notion that perhaps this suffering is born from our human gift of free will. Or, free will, an enchanting concept, the shimmering thread that allows us to cultivate love and creativity, yet also the thread that unravels into cruelty and despair. In this view, the sacred force of love remains untainted by interference, allowing us the liberty to choose our destinies. But this freedom, so cherished, harbors its shadows, opening doorways to suffering that feels both profound and achingly familiar. Yet, the closer we tread to the edge of understanding, the more elusive the truth becomes. For while our human choices illuminate moral evil, the acts of violence that scar our shared story, how does one reconcile these sorrows with natural calamities, the earthquakes that ravage life without regard? What purpose could lie behind such a chaotic dance of creation and destruction? Perhaps these events, though painful, form the very structure of life itself. The tectonic plates shift and tremble, creating both the horizon we admire and the darkness we fear. In this view, life is bound intricately with suffering, each breath a reminder of solidity and impermanence. Yet, some souls find solace in the notion of soul-making, where every challenge is seen as an opportunity draped in lessons, each struggle a gentle nudge towards spiritual growth. Think of a withered heart, once burdened by illness, now blooming with empathy, a vivid testament to resilience. The cycle of suffering, they may argue, carves paths to compassion that would not exist in the absence of strife. Still, when gazing upon the raw anguish of a life extinguished too soon, one cannot help but shiver at the chasm of understanding. If suffering is meant to refine, why do some bear storms far heavier than others? Our gaze shifts again to the concept of a greater good, a divine tapestry woven with threads beyond our limited perception. What we deem as senseless may serve as part of a serene design, a pattern visible only to the all-seeing eye of the divine. A tragedy, if followed by rebirth, might indeed harbor a deeper purpose unknown to our fleeting awareness. Yet, for those lost in the fog of grief, such reassurances can feel inadequate, an abstraction too distant to grasp. And so the dance unfolds, between skepticism and belief, as the question persists, if a higher design exists, is it truly one we can understand? Without the comforting embrace of faith, our understanding dwindles, leaving treasures of meaning buried beneath the weight of uncertainty. But among the broken pieces of existence, faith often whispers softly, extending hands of hope in the face of despair. As twilight deepens into night, the profound mystery of evil persists, a question that transcends us, inviting us to ponder, inviting us to breathe deeply into the enigma of existence. Each philosophy, each theology to grace this world, echoes with the fundamental goal of our understanding, to explore the depths of morality, the nature of choice, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unsolved mysteries. Perhaps the truth itself lies not in resolution, but in the quiet journey through uncertainty, a path leading us gently onward, where answers await, shrouded in the mist, inviting us to see, not merely to know. The enigmatic dance of surprise. Have you ever paused to consider the flickering nature of expectation? The delicate thread between what we think we know and what surprises eagerly await. It is a tantalizing notion, one that gently defies the clear borders of logic, inviting us to explore a state of being where certainty and surprise intertwine like wisps of fog against twilight. Picture for a moment an ordinary Sunday evening, where the air hums softly with the promise of something that remains just beyond your grasp. You are told, tenderly, that within the week, a surprise gift will find you, a token of unexpected delight. Yet, woven into this promise is a paradox, a riddle cloaked in serenity. It must arrive when you least expect it. But how can you possibly avoid the snare of expectation? As you drift through this thought, consider the days weaving by. Monday morphs into Tuesday. Then Wednesday whispers sweetly, luring you to analyze the possibilities, and yet there lies an uncanny tension within your reasoning. Friday, blazed golden by the anticipation of an unwrapped surprise, becomes the first casualty of your cerebral dance. How can it be a surprise, you ponder, if its arrival feels imminent? So, Friday is gently set aside, but then Thursday looms, shadowing the thoughts you dare to confront. Surely it cannot be Thursday, you muse, for then, once again, the surprise melts away, as the clockwork of your mind unravels the potential. Wednesday, Tuesday, even Monday falter beneath the weight of your deduction, until, astonishingly, it seems impossible for the gift to arrive at all. But here is where the magic lingers, a hidden truth waiting in the wings. Perhaps it is on that very Wednesday, under the cloak of your dismissal, that the surprise finds its way to you. You thought you had outsmarted the moment, only to find that the threads of expectation had intricately woven themselves back upon you, creating an even richer tapestry of surprise. The enchantment lies not in the gift itself, but in the strange waltz of anticipation and reality. What unfolds before us is not merely a game, but an exploration of the very nature of our reasoning, a subtle dance between expectation and reality, as soft and elusive as the mist that curls around a quiet stream. The gift can materialize, unexpectedly, beneath the weight of your own absurd logic. Herein lies the crux of the unexpected gift paradox. The very act of attempting to predict disrupts the purity of the surprise. And so we find ourselves at a crossroads, contemplating not just the nature of gifts, but the essence of knowledge itself. Trust, too, whispers its soft inquiries. When faced with a promise of surprise, do we believe with wide-eyed faith, or do we succumb to the shadows of doubt? Each answer nudges us toward a deeper understanding. It invites us to dwell in the uncertainties we often attempt to escape. Think, if you will, of the myriad surprises life lays before you, the unexpected call from a long-lost friend, the sudden revelation of beauty hidden on untraveled paths, or perhaps the resolution to a quandary that visits while you are lost in thought. It is often in those moments of quiet surrender to the unknown that we find life's most exquisite delights. Simplicity and depth entwined, awaiting our discovery. This paradox, with its playful dance of intrigue, invites us to embrace the unpredictable, a gentle reminder that the realm of knowledge bows before the mysterious flow of existence. It is a testament to the limitations of reason when faced with the wonders that cannot be boxed or neatly explained. The unexpected gift paradox stretches into realms beyond mere logic, whispering of insights and revelations forged in the fires of uncertainty and trust. So, as you ponder this riddle, allow your consciousness to drift like autumn leaves upon a gentle breeze. Engage with the understanding that not every surprise can be anticipated, nor every mystery unraveled. Sometimes, the beauty lies simply in the act of allowing the unexpected to unfold, a surrender to the whims of fate, an open-hearted acceptance that what awaits may very well encapsulate the magic of being alive. The whispering paradox of drinkers. Have you ever paused to consider the secrets shrouded in the corners of your own reasoning, the unseeing shadows cast by our everyday logic? Imagine, if you will, a bar, a refuge of laughter and quiet murmurs, where the flickering candlelight dances upon polished wood. Here, nestled among clinking glasses and hushed conversations, lies a puzzle, delicate and alluring, known as the drinker's paradox. It begins as a simple, almost absurd statement. Within any bar, there exists at least one soul, perhaps a fleeting figure in the haze of life, such that if that person drinks, everyone else does too. It feels absurd, teetering on the brink of nonsense, yet upon closer examination, this notion reveals itself as a truth cloaked in logic's embrace. A riddle whispered through the ages, it invites us to explore deeper, step by step, into the labyrinth of thought. Picture the scene, the warm hum of voices, scattered laughter mingling with the crisp scent of beer and old wood. The paradox lingers here, almost tangible, whispering at the edge of awareness. It beckons us to break down its layers, to feel the rhythm of logic unfolding like a forgotten melody. A foundation of implications rests quietly beneath its surface, a basic principle of formal logic that weaves itself through the tapestry of this peculiar barroom conundrum. What if, we muse, pondering the nature of truth? The fragile structure of logic, so elegantly poised, states that an implication, in its simplest form, remains true unless the premise stands unyielding, while the conclusion crumbles. For instance, consider this proposition: if it rains tomorrow, I shall seek refuge indoors. The exquisite beauty lies in the truth of the statement, held aloft even if rain fails to grace our world. Here, in the dance of conditions, we begin to understand the nature of our paradox. As we draw closer to this bar of dreams, we find our curiosity piqued. Within the thrumming crowd, some are swallowed by the spirits they sip, while others remain untouched by the elixirs surrounding them. One wonders, could the paradox truly find itself nested within these contrasting choices? The heart of the matter lies just beyond ordinary grasp, close, yet still shrouded in mystery. Imagine, then, a solitary figure, perhaps someone nameless, whom we shall call Alex. Alex sits in contemplation, a glass untouched before them. The statement, if Alex drinks, then all shall drink, glimmers with truth. For as long as Alex remains steadfast in sobriety, the proposition cannot falter. Although the possibility seems elusive, it breathes quietly, suspended in the air like a dream half remembered. But let us unravel this further. If the entire bar partakes in merriment, toasting and laughing with abandon, the paradox finds its ease. Here, in this idyllic moment, any chosen figure could fulfill the claim at hand. For if they drink, all others, already ensnared in joy, must also drink. It is a cascade of inevitability, much like the flow of a gentle stream, an effortless current that lifts us along, soothing and harmonious. Yet, should we veer into a scene of selective imbibing, where laughter mingles with the silence of the sober, our attention shifts again. Can Alex, in their stillness, evoke the same tangled threads of implication? Yes, indeed, for within the logic's embrace, it holds true. The absence of action renders the statement immovably intact, a paradox that dances on the edge of reason. echoing gently through the confines of our understanding. As the whispers of the drinker's paradox unfurl, we find ourselves weaving between the strands of practicality and theory, a delicate balance of thought that keeps us enthralled. How curious it is! We muse, while practical reality may seem incongruous to the mind. Formal logic flows with its own grace, unabated by our earthly concerns. Could we recognize the ephemeral nature of our intuitive beliefs, as they falter before the illuminate glow of rigorous reasoning? And so, as we linger in this bar of bubbling thought where laughter mingles with musings, we begin to glimpse the broader shadows that the drinker's paradox casts upon our understanding. It transcends mere drinking. It is a framework of implications that applies to classrooms, parks, and the very fabric of our conversations. In every instance, there exists a singular individual upon whose actions everything else leans delicately, like an intricate dance of marionettes, guided by the hidden strings of logic. In quiet reflection, we come to realize that the paradox is not simply an intellectual puzzle, but a mirror held before us, nudging our thoughts toward the profound, urging us to question how we perceive truth, existence, and the intricate tapestry of reasoning itself. Ultimately, the drinker's paradox leaves us suspended in contemplation, a gentle reminder that in the world of logic, expectations may be the fabric we weave ourselves into, yet they do not determine the truths that lie just beyond the veil of our understanding. And here we remain, entranced by the lingering whispers of logic and the allure of curiosity, the paradox, like a sweetly haunting echo, still unfurling, still inviting us to ponder its depths. As the night quietly washes over us, calm and mysterious, *** whispers from the Isle of Truths and lies ***. Imagine, if you will, a distant isle, shrouded in fog and mystery, where each grain of sand seems to echo softly with ancient secrets. This island is home to two distinct tribes, the truth-tellers, bathed in the light of honesty, and the liars, cloaked in shadows of deception. It is not merely a place of simple encounters, but a realm where the very nature of reality dances delicately between truth and falsehood, entwining like branches above a sun-dappled stream. As you ponder your surroundings, you might find yourself asking, how does one discern where truth begins and falsehood ends? At first, this quest appears straightforward. Surely, the straightforward art of questioning would yield clarity amidst the haze. Yet, the air thickens with complexity as you begin to unravel the enigma. The notion of honesty becomes a silken glimmer in the depths of the mind. The liar's words flow as smoothly as water, disguising themselves within a facade that allows no light to penetrate. In these still moments, as time stretches lazily, consider what happens when you ask direct questions. You inquire, are you a truth-teller? Both a truth-teller and a liar would answer in unison with a resounding yes, their voices melding into a singular note of indistinguishable certainty. The truth-teller's proclamation rings true, a beacon in the fog, while the liar dances around the truth, casting shadow where clarity should reside. In this exchange, you find yourself lost in a gentle whirlpool, where clarity slips away like grains of sand through your fingertips. You soon realize, dear traveler, that to peel back the layers of deception, you must craft your inquiries with both finesse and insight. Consider, if you might, a new approach, a question that spirals into a labyrinth of logic. You glance at two figures standing before you, each a reflection of the other's essence. You ask, what would person A say if I were to ask person B about your truthfulness? In this moment, the kingdom of complexities opens before you. If person A is a truth-teller, they beckon forth the voice of person B, the liar, with unwavering honesty. They convey that person B would call them a liar, threading a pathway through the fog. Conversely, if person A dwells amongst the liars, they cast a deceptive spell, stating that person B, the truth-teller, would identify them as a truthful soul. The fabric of their responses weaves together, inviting you deeper into the enigma. If one surrenders to the flow of this enchanting logic, the unseen threads begin to reveal themselves. gently illuminating the roles they play. The question you pose, crafted with care, constructs a bridge between two realities, allowing you to navigate the shores of certainty. Such questions are not mere exercises in logic, but keys to unlock the essence of communication itself, the very heartbeat of our exchanges in this ephemeral dance we call life. As you reflect on this peculiar isle, a thought creeps in like the soft tide kissing the shore. This challenge mirrors the complexities of our own world, for too often we face veils of miscommunication and shadows of ambiguous truths that cloud our understanding. Through this riddle, we learn the value of patience, the grace of inquiry, and the depth that lies within each subtle questioning and art that extends beyond this ethereal isle. Picture, too, the evolving narrative of this puzzle as it unfolds like a weathered scroll, unveiling not just the dynamics of truth and lies, but the very nature of human interaction. What if the inhabitants of this isle were not limited to mere truth-tellers and liars, but included spirits who wove together the delicate threads of both? The added layer of randomness reflects life's unpredictable nature, where truth may vacillate, revealing yet another layer of depth to your inquiries. In wandering through this philosophical garden, one discovers the beauty of layered questions, the gentle dance of inquiry that leads us beyond surface deductions. Therein lies the secret. The very framing of our questions can illuminate the path toward understanding, guiding us through confusing landscapes of human emotion and intention. As you drift through these contemplations, consider the essence of the challenge: clarity amidst confusion, simplicity amidst complexity. Much like the ebb and flow of a quiet tide, the riddle reveals itself in whispers, echoing the timeless journey toward discerning truth in a world rich with contradictions. So linger here a while, amidst the shadows and light of the Isle of Truths and Lies, and let your thoughts swirl softly like autumn leaves on a gentle breeze. The truth lies woven within the questions we ask, patiently awaiting discovery, softly calling from just beyond the edge of awareness, a puzzle yet to be solved, a journey still unfolding. In the hazy twilight of reason, a question lingers, like a whisper at the edge of awareness. What if the truth we hold near was merely a shimmering illusion? Imagine, if you will, a voice from the ancient mists of Crete, a voice belonging to Epimenides, a philosopher and poet, who spun words with the dexterity of a spider weaving its web. All Cretans, he proclaimed, with a tone that seemed woven from the very fabric of truth, are liars. At first, this utterance may strike you as straightforward, a simple proclamation wrapped in the guise of certainty. Yet, as you dwell upon its echoes, a puzzle unfolds, slowly, like the petals of a flower revealing their heart. If Epimenides, himself a Cretan, speaks truthfully, then his assertion must stand, bright and unyielding. But then, a shadow creeps in. If his words are indeed true, he, too, would be a liar, weaving a contradiction that dances obscenely within the realms of logic. This curious loop, this delicate entanglement lies at the heart of what has come to be known as the Epimenides paradox. It has ensnared the minds of thinkers for centuries, beckoning them into a labyrinth where logic spirals and unravels. It lures the curious into its embrace, suggesting that truth, much like sand slipping through one's fingers, may defy a conventional grasp. As you drift deeper into this riddle, let us gently navigate its waters. Here, words become more than mere sounds. They unfold into broader realms of understanding. Consider the statement whispered in shadows. This sentence is false. A simple phrase, yet it bends and twists like a stream in twilight. Should it be true? It must, by its own decree, be false. But what if the reverse holds? The paradox mimics that of Epimenides, and though it bears simplicity, it ensnares truth and fiction in a complex embrace that logic struggles to navigate. Yet, let us not forget the distinction between the village of Cretans and the solitary voice of a statement. What elevates Epimenides is this: his proclamation spills from the lips of a broader narrative. By declaring all Cretans as liars, he ascends beyond personal truth, tapping into a collective fabric woven from the threads of human behavior. This adds layers, intricacies that deepen the mystery. If all are liars, it implies that his words slip into the realm of falsehood. Yet this very falsehood signals something else. Not all are without truth, threading a cycle of contradictions unbroken. To ponder this further is akin to examining the very essence of lying. Does labeling someone as a liar mean that every word escaping their lips is false? Not necessarily. Amid the intricacies of human expression, we find moments of sincerity buried beneath the weight of embellishment. Might it be that Epimenides himself, steeped in the fabric of uncertainty, knows truth while he speaks of falsehood? As you linger, consider shifting from the rigid corridors of logical absolutes to the soft, welcoming arms of practical reasoning. In the graze of our existence, absolutes lose their hold. Generalizations become reflections of experience, a gentle hyperbole other than steadfast truth. Could it be that Epimenides, in his philosophic tapestry, is merely reflecting a cultural truth, a gentle jest about the nature of trust within his kin? As you float in these contemplative waters, the Epimenides paradox beckons you to explore questions of self-reference and awareness. When one muses upon themselves or their kin, a unique dance emerges, where the observer and the observed weave into a single entity, blurring the lines of disconnect upon which logic typically leans. Even now, modern minds gaze upon this ancient puzzle. In the symphony of mathematics and logic, self-referential loops whisper tales of both fascination and perplexity. Picture a program caught in an endless cycle. If true, repeat, not a condition in sight. It strains against the limits of logic, much like the very paradox it imitates, revealing both the beauty and the barriers that language and concepts can create. Each layer of this wondrous inquiry into the Epimenides paradox invites you deeper into the tender realm of understanding. Language, complex and nuanced, dances on the precipice of meaning, shifting like the evening tide. It provokes us to peel back the skin of communication, to discover the rich, uncharted regions of thought that lie beneath our spoken realm. This wandering through paradoxes invites us not merely to seek answers, but to explore questions that swim beyond the confines of black and white. As you rest here in the depths of contemplation, know that the Epimenides paradox nurtures the spirit of inquiry, reminding us that some truths drift ever just beyond our reach. Conceptual puzzle pieces that promise more than mere resolution. Instead, they encourage us to navigate the vast sea of logic, exploring the currents of our assumptions, forever drawn toward understanding, echoing the tantalizing allure of mysteries still veiled in ethereal flight. Asterisk asterisk, a whisper of two envelopes, a puzzle of perception asterisk asterisk. What if, in a quiet corner of your mind, a question lingered, a gentle tap at the door of your awareness? A question like this: is the allure of choice always a path to clarity? Or can it sometimes lead us deeper into the labyrinth of uncertainty? Let us drift along this thought, feeling the rhythm of it wrap around us, as we step into the shadows of a curious conundrum known as the two envelopes problem. Imagine, if you will, a dimly lit room filled with the soft murmur of possibilities. Before you lie to envelopes, each cradling a sum of money, but their secrets remain tightly woven, shrouded in a veil of mystery. One envelope holds twice as much as the other, yet which one possesses the greater fortune? In a delicate dance of decision, you select one, feeling the weight of your choice anchor you temporarily. But then, a whisper, a persistent nudge of curiosity, arises should you switch to the other envelope. At first glance, this riddle feels as straightforward as the turning of a page, with eyes unclouded. You might reason without knowing the hidden depths of each envelope. They seem to offer equal chances. A 50-50 gamble, perhaps. Now, let us pause and breathe, for a deeper contemplation stirs beneath the surface, urging you to look closer. Imagine, softly now, that you peer into your selected envelope and discover a crisp $100 bill nestled within. But the intrigue unfurls. If this is the smaller sum, the other envelope would cradle a delightful $200. Yet, What if the $100 unveiled before you indeed the greater sum? In that case, the counterpart must contain only $50. Here lies the paradox cloaked in numbers. Each envelope speaks softly of probabilities, yet the song is complicated. A gentle hum resonates. If you switch, there exists a 50% chance the other holds the bounty of $200, but equally, a 50% chance it harbors the meek $50. But in this rhythm, an expected value emerges, $125. A siren's call compared to the $100 sitting comfortably in your grasp. Yet, let us tread more deeply into this tapestry of thought. Why, then, does this logic entwine itself around each envelope, drawing you into a loop of indecision? It seems the notion of always switching presents itself like a mirage, shimmering just beyond your fingertips, an irresistible temptation. And yet, if this logic remains true for both envelopes, you could find yourself caught in an endless cycle, back and forth, a pendulum swinging without resolution. To truly grasp the essence of this conundrum, we must delve into the shadows of our assumptions. Therein lies the crux of our inquiry. A hidden truth lingered in the air, perceptible yet elusive. In contemplating the riches contained within these envelopes, we assume, oh so readily, that each amount dances in equal probabilities, a frail foundation upon which our reasoning rests. What if the game did not cast a fair net of chance? What if the amounts contained were dictated by unseen rules, hidden before our eyes? Now, visualize a realm where these envelopes are bound by a divine logic. One envelope might cradle a sum, and the other, an amount twice as much, dictated by the whims of chance. In this landscape of uncertainty, would you not first need to comprehend the range of possibilities, to assign meaning to the mere act of switching? The heart of our perplexity pulses here, whispering that we cannot truly navigate probabilities without context. In the absence of clarity, we drift into the ocean of symmetry, where no envelope appears to hold sway over the other. Before a choice is made, the two possibilities exist side by side, indistinguishable. Even after parting an envelope's veil, revealing a sum, we gain no further illumination into whether a switch is wise. The landscape remains unchanged, a mirror reflecting our own uncertainty back to us. Imagine now, if you played this enigmatic game repeatedly, pairs of envelopes emerging from the shadows over time. You might notice that to switch may lead to moments of gain, yet equally to loss, a gentle ebb and flow that balances out in the great vastness of outcomes. Such is the dance of decision-making, each step valid in its own right, as the waves of fortune wash against the shores of your choice. Despite the clarity that emerges with further thought, the two envelopes problem remains an enchanting enigma, a riddle inviting you to contemplate the deeper questions of intuition versus logic. It nudges us to scrutinize our understanding of uncertainty, to wonder how we navigate our paths amidst clouds of incomplete information. So, dear reader, as you dwell in this quiet reverie, let the whispers of the two envelopes problem spiral around you like smoke. It is not merely a numerical puzzle, but a doorway into the heart of our reasoning, a gentle reminder to hold our assumptions close, yet be willing to interrogate them as we wander through the landscape of uncertainty. And perhaps, as we ponder these truths, we shall find that the true treasure lies not in the envelopes, but within the clarity we seek to understand the choices we make, forever dancing on the edge of awareness. Asterisk asterisk, the whispering loop of understanding asterisk asterisk. Have you ever pondered the nature of truth itself? A question lingers, echoing softly in the recesses of the mind. How do we truly know what we know? This seemingly simple inquiry unfolds like a delicate blossom, revealing layers steeped in mystery and paradox. We seek a method, a guiding light to discern the veracity of our beliefs. Yet, here lies the enigma. How can we trust that very method without first grasping the essence of truth? A loop emerges, a spiral dance where knowledge cannot exist without first possessing a touch of knowledge itself. This tangle lies at the core of understanding, inviting us to wander through its intriguing maze. Imagine, if you will, the timeless art of painting. As you stand before a canvas, you feel the urge to determine its authenticity. You might reach out to an expert, a scholar clad in accolades and knowledge. But then comes a whisper, a nagging thought. How can you trust their expertise? Perhaps you check their credentials, tracing the threads of their reputation, yet this journey leads you further down the rabbit hole. For to assess the expert, you must consider the institution that sanctioned their authority, the historical records of their evaluations, all weaving a net of trust upon trust. At each turn, you find yourself navigating a landscape where unstoppable doubts ripple beneath the surface, and the ultimate standard of truth dances just beyond reach. Let us take a moment to dwell in the shadows of these thoughts. The allure of science captivates many, seen as a sturdy vessel to traverse the vast oceans of knowledge. Yet, even its revered foundations invite gentle questioning. Consider the evidence that forms the bedrock of scientific reasoning, each piece beckoning like a star in a night sky. We trust these distant truths, recounting past successes, but therein lies a subtle paradox. Are we not using science's own past to validate its future? This circular reflection spirals like leaves caught in a tranquil breeze, leaving a vital question unresolved. How do we break free from this unending riddle? As we drift through the realms of morality, a similar ebb and flow emerges. Picture yourself standing at a crossroads of right and wrong, guided only by the principle of do no harm. A haunting thought lingers. How can you be certain that this principle is indeed correct? Evidence may whisper its own truths, claiming alignment with human nature or favorable outcomes, yet each assertion beckons for another layer of judgment. How do we come to understand what truly matters in the delicate dance of existence? This chain of reasoning glimmers before us, hinting at unfathomable depths yet uncharted. The implications of the problem of the criterion stretch far beyond abstract philosophy. They entwine with the very fabric of decision-making. Consider the jury, trapped in a moment of collective uncertainty, tasked with weighing evidence and witness accounts. They grapple with a delicate balance of truth and credibility, their judgments resting on a foundation of intuition and past experience. It is a precarious nest, woven from threads that cannot be wholly verified, yet a verdict emerges. In this realm, trust plays its silent melody, guiding every decision, even as the shadows of uncertainty loom large. In an age where the whispers of information beckon from every corner, we find ourselves haunted by the challenge of discernment. How can we select a trusted source from a cacophony of voices? Some may recommend turning to reputable outlets, but how do we define what is reputable? We may attempt to cross-reference, yet this presupposes knowledge of our own criteria. Each interrogation loops back to the heart of the conundrum, the elusive criterion, blurring the lines between certainty and doubt. Responses emerge like distant echoes in a quiet chamber. Some embrace the idea of foundationalism, positing that certain beliefs hold a self-evident weight, an anchor amid the storm of confusion. Yet, what is deemed foundational often dances away, varied in perception, revealing the profound subjectivity of truth. Others turn to coherentism, seeking to weave a tapestry of beliefs that fit seamlessly within a logical framework. Yet even this approach must contend with the challenge of justifying coherence itself. Thus, we find ourselves once again in the gentle embrace of skepticism, acknowledging that certainty may only exist in wisps, ever fluid and elusive, while urging us to lean on practical reasoning. As we drift deeper into these considerations, the question arises: how do our senses, the mirrors reflecting our understanding, guide us through the world's vast landscape? You may gaze upon a red apple, trusting your eyes to declare its hue, yet the reliability of perception hangs in fragile balance, dependent on an intricate interplay of light and interpretation. A second opinion could offer solace, but that, too, dances between layers of truth. The winds of trust swirl, weaving an intricate tapestry, resonating with the essence of our very existence. Yet, dear reader, Fear not this labyrinth of thought. The problem of the criterion does not render us incapable of knowledge. Rather, it beckons us towards humility and introspection. Every belief, however steadfast, rests delicately upon the foundation of trust, opening doors to a dynamic and evolving understanding. We move through life with the tacit acceptance of this conundrum, making choices, forming convictions, and navigating a landscape rich with shared experiences and unexamined assumptions. In the end, as the mysteries unfold, we are left with an invitation and eagerness to explore the boundaries of what it means to know. The echoes of this philosophical quandary gently remind us that while certainty may elude us, like a fleeting dream, curiosity stretches infinitely, beckoning us forward into the vast unknown. In the quiet corners of our minds, where whispers of thoughts linger like shadows at dusk, lies a question that dances with our understanding of the universe. What if the improbable is merely a reflection of deeper truths, waiting to be unveiled? Imagine, if you will, the flutter of a lottery ticket, its edges worn, cradled gently in your palm, representing the fragile hope of fortune. The odds of that ticket, leading you to a life transformed, are as distant and elusive as a star shining in the velvet night sky. Yet still, you dream, and the improbable begins to weave a tapestry of wonder. As you delve into this labyrinth of chance, take a moment to ponder the essence of luck itself. What is it that pulls at our fascination with the concept of winning, especially when the likelihood seems so fantastical? The heart of this enigma pulsates with a delicate tension, one that thins the line between mere chance and calculated deception. If perchance you find yourself victorious in the great lottery, a flicker of delight swells within you. You bask in the glow of possibility, yet clouds of skepticism flit about. Could it be that your fortune is orchestrated, a puppet show behind a velvet curtain? Let us draw back the veil and explore this seemingly paradoxical notion. In the realm of lotteries, the odds are often surreal, impossibly low, yet not entirely unattainable. It is said that with a 1 in a million chance of winning, the probability curls around itself like smoke. It feels almost absurd, doesn't it? But here's where the narratives intertwine. For every soul who dreams of winning, there are countless tickets held in hope. And in that sea of possibility, improbable events shimmer like distant constellations. Now imagine for a moment your name echoing through the hall of winners, only to have whispers of doubt encircle you like mist. What if this is a smoke and mirrors act? They ponder. Indeed, the notion that the lottery could be rigged dances at the edges of reason, pulling you closer into its beguiling embrace. Yet, perhaps this conclusion emerges not from the concrete foundation of evidence, but from the innate human desire to find patterns, to attribute meaning to chaos, a tendency known as apophenia, the seeking of connection in the randomness. Picture this: winning the lottery twice, an enchantment deemed impossible, yet reality for a woman who beat the odds, a victory so rare. The world tilts on its axis of skepticism. Statisticians clad in logic wield their arguments like swords, asserting that while the occurrence may be slender as a wisp of candlelight, it is indeed possible within the currents of countless participants. And yet, the heart quickens with unease, drawing upon a fear of manipulation that wades through the waters of improbability, questioning if this reality is one of luck or mischief. As we meander further into this tale, consider the coincidences that lace through our everyday lives, those serendipitous encounters that make our hearts skip and we clutch at the seams of meaning. Encountering an old friend in a foreign place, a dream that unfolds into waking reality. These moments pulse with significance because they bathe in the light of the unlikely. Yet we must ponder, are they truly imbued with deeper meanings, or merely ephemeral threads of fate emerging from a loamy tapestry of chance? In these contemplations, we find ourselves tangled in the very fabric of existence, where fairness woven into the design of lotteries creates an intricate dance between expectation and the whims of fortune. For someone to win, no matter how slender the odds, there must exist a winner. However, Should a cloud of deceit harbor over their fortune? Isn't it the very notion of randomness that faces scrutiny? Life unfolds in patterns unknown, where the inquiry of skepticism brushes against the tender edges of belief. Now gently, as we meander to our halting conclusion, let us recognize that when we claim something is unlikely, we spin a judgment cloaked in the shimmering veil of probability, but context whispers softly, reminding us that the narrative of improbability is enriched by the backdrop of circumstance. The laws of chance twist beneath the surface, suggesting that emotions can cloud our understanding, leaving us adrift in a sea of uncertainty. Embrace this mystery, dear reader. For in the delicate dance between desire and doubt, between fortune and fate, the extraordinary becomes familiar. The lottery coincidence reveals our deepest urges to comprehend the unpredictable nature of life, igniting curiosity amidst our reservations. As we, the storytellers, lay bare these threads of thought, may we invite you to delve into the depths of the improbable, as life, in all its intricate complexity, lingers just beyond reach. The secrets of existence wait, patiently, beckoning for us to unravel them, one gentle whisper at a time. In the quiet corners of our minds, where thoughts drift like whispers at the edge of awareness, we often grapple with an unspoken fear. What if the very tools we forge to shape our world become the architects of our undoing? This contemplation crouches like a shadow, elusive yet profoundly resonant. Each of us understands, at some fundamental level, the delicate dance between power and control, a balance we teeter upon. Like an apprentice who unknowingly invites chaos into his realm, imagine a tale, not of mere fiction, but one that echoes throughout history, an age-old narrative steeped in mystery. It is a story of an apprentice, burdened with a desire to master the art of magic, who, in his youthful ambition, enlists the aid of an enchanted broom. The broom answers his call, dutifully embarking on its task of fetching water, each droplet a shimmering promise of progress. Yet, when the task is done, the broom, animated by spells he is ill-prepared to unravel, continues its labor, spiraling into a tempest of chaos. The room fills with water, the rhythm of its splashes a haunting refrain. The apprentice, helpless in his inability to curb the enchantment he unleashed, watches as order slips through his fingers like grains of sand. This tale, often encapsulated within the frame of fanciful narrative, metamorphoses into a metaphor, reflection of our own realities, where human ingenuity often spirals beyond our grasp. As we craft our tools, often with the noblest intentions, we seldom pause to ponder the stormy skies that may follow our innovations. It is a poignant reminder of the delicate chasm that exists between creation and consequence, a gap that beckons us to tread carefully upon its precipice. Throughout the tapestry of history, this pattern repeats itself. The Industrial Revolution, a remarkable tapestry woven from threads of machinery and progress, brought forth a transformation that many welcomed with open arms. Yet, as factories bloomed across landscapes, their gifts of production unfurled into a sobering reality. Rivers once pure became surging veins of poison. The laughter of children in factories faded into echoes of despair, as exploitation and waste arose from the promise of efficiency, a lesson whispered across generations. The very tools designed to ease our burdens can, in turn, birth a new suite of challenges, weaving complexity into the fabric of existence. In modern times, this enduring journey unfolds anew, with artificial intelligence emerging as the latest enchanter in our lives. The algorithms, crafted to understand our desires, their motives cloaked in mystery, become entities of their own. What happens, one might wonder, when these sentinels of progress forge paths beyond our comprehension, leading us down corridors of doubt and uncertainty? The apprentice's dilemma resurfaces, reminding us of the perils that lie in our enchantments. In the grand theatre of nature, we observe a similar tale, one which plays out in ecosystems like a tragic ballet. When the rabbit was introduced to Australia, it was a simple diversion, a means of entertainment, yet it spun into a web of devastation, with no predators to check their growth. They multiplied explosively, leaving devastation in their wake, a jarring reminder of how a seemingly innocent solution can grow monstrous, unbound and free, reshaping the very landscapes we wish to nurture. The echoes of the apprentice syndrome do not stop at the natural world. In the labyrinth of financial markets, the roots run deep. When the global financial crisis awakened from its prolonged slumber, it unraveled a tale of complexity entwined with ambition. Mortgage-backed securities, sown from intention, became threads of confusion that snared even the most astute minds. As the housing market trembled, the damage cascaded through economies, revealing the delicate balance between creation and collapse, a realization that whispers gently, urging us to reconsider our dances with ambition. With the digital age, we welcome new sorrows. The rise of social media, designed to connect hearts and minds, now comes with haunting shadows of division. Misinformation weaves its way through the threads of connection, echo chambers forming where understanding once flourished. Algorithms, once mere servants to our needs, have grown independent, fostering an environment that threatens to sever the fabric of community. Once more, the apprentice finds himself adrift, unable to quell the tide he has set into motion. And now, as we glance into the horizon dimmed by the hues of climate change, we confront the legacy of our own making. The fruits of innovation, ripe with promise, unleashed a deluge of consequences, carbon footprints tracing back to the very heart of mankind's industrious spirit. The planet, once a canvas of vibrant life, now contends with the whispers of rising temperatures and shifting climates, a poignant reminder of the complexities that unfurl in our wake. In all of this, we catch glimpses of humility, the realization of our own limitations against the vast web of existence. The apprentice, promising control, stands poised to learn that the intricate dance of complexity often outruns our comprehension. Yet, perhaps therein lies not just the challenge, but also the opportunity. Awakening to the patterns of the past is the first dance step, understanding this nuanced waltz. By learning from forgotten echoes, we can strive to build safeguards into our creations, to fashion a future where we approach the unfurling of complexity with arrogance, but with respect. In this unfolding tale, just as the sorcerer returned to mend the chaos left by his apprentice, so too must we embody responsibility, recognizing that every creation births an obligation, each innovation a whisper of accountability. For within the tapestry of challenges lies an eternal truth, the same ingenuity that crafts our tools can, with humility and foresight, guide us toward solutions that reflect the best of our humanity. And so, as we drift deeper into the contemplation of our journey, let us hold dear a question that lingers like a soft sigh. How do we ensure that the brooms we set into motion serve us, rather than unearth storms we cannot weather? After all, the law of the apprentice continues to murmur, urging us to embrace wisdom in the dance of creation. The answers, elusive yet comforting, hover just beyond the veil of our understanding, waiting to be discovered in the quiet depths of our own restless hearts.